Hello kids. So we are now on the live video lecture, and therefore today's syllabus is totally taken from the textbook of your English as we go through that. And the basic thing is that the portion of syllabus which we are going to cover is the textbook, and the textbook first lesson, which is itself describing a very miracle story, a story which is somehow delivering a miracle of the part of the story, that is a letter to God. Now there is a basic theory of our English book or English stories and all, that whenever a story is delivered by any author, or we can say by these kinds of theories are delivered, these kinds of lessons by any author, writer, or any poem we read, there is a concept. Okay, now that concept is belonging to the theme of the story. That concept is belonging to the theme of the story. Hence, if you go more into the detail of that, the theme of the story is totally leading the summary. Okay, and summary is a very shortest part of the story, or we can say that it's a whole mixture of story in a very small view of time where we can recover full of the story. Today's topic is all about the man who is actually puzzled. See, the lesson which we are taking right now is related with the cyclone, or we can say pro-cyclone. It's just not only a cyclone, a hailstorm. And if you go more further, not only the hailstorm, the storm which is actually going to ruin the life of a hard-working farmer in this text lesson. Okay, so now let me discuss you something, that before 2 days, a huge cyclone struck our Indian coast on the side of Orissa. Okay, so that was also somehow referred as a very dangerous point of Orissa, because the cyclone hit that, and due to that West Bengal also, in fact West Bengal also got very destructive things, very destructive waves about that kind of cyclones, or that kind of huge storm, windstorm. So what is happening actually in the lesson, whenever we try to recover our lifestyle in the very better way, in a very enhanced way, sometime what is happening, sometime it is happening that the things which are happening are not in our control, and therefore we don't have any control on all the things which are happening in our life. It can be destructive, it can be constructive also, but most of the time when we find destructive, we find ourselves as helpless. Okay, so therefore there is basic no help. There is no basic help. So in that case of theory, what we're gonna do, we need to actually make and raise our voice. To whom? We need and make our voice, raise our voice to the people or to the parents who are elderly related with us. And in the case of this story, there is no elderly parents related with the character. Okay, I'll not tell you the name of character, but I'll soon define who is the character in the story, who is actually leading the whole story, which is written by, you can see the name, G.L. Fluent. So therefore, he is actually complaining his all the dilemmas. Now what is the meaning of dilemma? Dilemma means his problems. Okay, when he is feeling himself in jeopardy. Jeopardy means also in a destructive situation. He is in great dilemma. He is thinking that where should I go and complain? Okay, where should I go and complain? And therefore he is going and complaining to the God. And that is the basic thing which we need to understand. What is the letter to God is all about. The lesson which is based on NCERT portion of syllabus related to our textbook here. So the letter to God itself defines that a letter is going to reach to the God. But the question is that, will God reply that person in the story? That is a big question mark here. Will God reply the person in the story? Okay, that's only we have to explore it out in the story. So going further, see, I have mentioned my steps of teaching you, that what I'm gonna teach you, or what will be our prospective methods to teach you. That basically, see, I cleared the lesson, okay, because the topic clearance is very, very important, and hence it is very necessary also. That is the letter to God. Then we'll be going to the introduction. Okay, that is story, character, situation. Now what is story? Let's take the first step of that. Okay, what is story? The story is all about a hard-working farmer. Right now the lockdown is going there, and farmers are the only people who are actually helping us. Why? Because we can say that if you are stuck in the house, if you are locked in the house, what do you need? You need a good amount of food to survive. Surviving for your daily life is the basic need for the human being. without surveillance, without surviving, we are not gonna live further, and we are not gonna do any progress also. So the basic thing is that we need to survive. So therefore, after surviving, that is the story of surviving. Okay, that is a farmer and who is trying to survive and also pull his house. Now pulling his house is like an idiom and phrase. Okay, pulling his house means that he is actually making his family comfortable. Okay, his wife, his sons and all comfortable to live, because right now, whether it is present, whether it was past or it will be future, we just think about the progress of the house, because the house is the only thing where we build up a good relation with the families, or we can say that we live in a good constructive relationship. So therefore, dealing with the problem, protecting the family is the basic theory of the story. Now comes the character. Who is the character in the story? Okay, the character itself is a man who is known as the farmer in the story, and his name is Lencho. So you must know the name about the character, that is the Lencho. And if you go more further, which kind of character is that? See, if in the exam, if I'm asking you a question, that write a pen portrait, okay, pen portrait about Lencho, which can be coming for the 2 marks, okay, it can be coming for the 2 marks. What you are gonna write on that? What you need to write? You need to write a proper characteristics about the Lencho, a proper, we can say that, a proper character of the Lencho. Who was he? How he was dressed? What was his problems? How was he reacting on his problem? What he find the solutions for that problem, and what he got the response over the problems here. Who were the people related to that? That is a complete basic story, or we can say a characteristic design, which is totally depending on the character whose name is Lencho, and he is only the main basic center of gravity around whose the story is going to remain. See, right now I'm just clearing the introduction. Story will go to the situations, hard words, grammar points, and then the story summary. So if you go more further, Lencho is the person who is actually dealing with the problems. As I said you, he is the main character in the story. Now what is the situation? The situation is that as all the farmers are needing good crops. Good crop is the only basic thing the farmer need. Okay, good crops, because that crop is actually crop for us, but for him it's the livelihood of his own. Okay, and the crop is not only the crop for him also, it is the basic need to live primitively. Okay, to need primitively and more prosperously with his life, or with his we can say that household people, with his community, because without the crops the farmer is not gonna have any kind of source of money, and furthermore he is not able to pay the fees of his kids, he is not going to survive for the initial basic food item, he is not going to get his house built up properly, he is not going to expand his lifestyle, he is not going to improve his livelihood also. Therefore the basic thing is that Lencho is surviving, he is struggling with the farm field and all for his daily livelihood. And if you go more further, what is the problem in that? Situation deals with a problem also. I'll tell you, that is, what is the problem of that? The problem of Lencho is that when he was actually wishing that he must be getting, not might be, when he was wishing that he must be getting a good healthy rain, okay, and he must be trying to get a good coins also after selling that crops, he was actually struck with a huge sorrow in his heart. His heart was like heartbroken. Why it was that? Because he was actually the person who witnessed his farm ruined out in front of him. It was ruined out in front of him. Why? Because it was said that in the story written by Mr. Fluent, that his farm, which was showing the crop of corns, okay, dotted corns. Now you might have known about the corns. Popcorns are there. Basically they are the byproducts of corns. The corns were generally ruined out. Now I'll tell you the situation, because we are working on the situation right now. I'll tell you what was situation, how he thought that he was not gonna survive this year and he is going to die this year without the food. See, the situation was that when he was actually thinking after coming out his home that today I'm gonna get good amount of rain. okay, and he was wishing also to feel that rain. Actually what happened, he was happy at that time, but his happiness won't lasted longer. His happiness became very flood of disasterful happiness. Okay, it went into the disasterful manner. Why? Because within a time gap, when he was feeling that rain, droplets of rain, he was thinking that, oh, it's the drops of pearl. Oh, this is the coin. He's making a comparison between raindrops to the coin. It's like a personified thing, or better far from that, it is like he's comparing that kind of thing with the money. Okay, rainfall with the money fall. He's thinking that it is not the waterfall, it is actually the money fall, because after that my crops are gonna become very, very good. Okay, and I'll sell that also. And so he's telling in the line of the story that the crops are actually going to be good, because these are not the rains, these are the coins falling from the mountain, from the sky, high sky. So that is the basic thing here. Now after some time, he felt that when he went inside his home, he felt that something was tapping on his roof. Now what was that thing tapping on his roof? When his wife is calling everyone for the meal, for the lunch, okay, basically, he felt that something is tapping on the roof. Now what is the meaning of tapping? Let me define you, because we are working on the hard words also. Tapping means a sound which is produced by falling water over a metallic sheet or any plastic sheet. Rain sound, बारिश की आवाज कभी होती है तो टप 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 आवाज होती है. It's the tapping sound here. So in the case, he was feeling that, yeah, this tapping sound is increasing, and when he went out of his home to observe what was that, he was actually stuck with a great fear of losing his crops. That he was observing that it was not only the ice fall, it was also it was not only the waterfall, it was along with the waterfall, ice fall was falling there with a heavy eastern winds also, okay, northern eastern winds also. So in this case we can say that Lencho, the main person in the story, the farmer, the character, is now having a basic problem which is going to become a pro level problem. Okay, because now he will see that his crops are totally ruined out. His crops are basically now to the professionally ruined out. जैसे होता है ना एकदम अच्छे से किसी के क्रॉप को बर्बाद कर देना, तो वैसा हो गया था उसका क्रॉप. And if you go more further, he is now thinking that what shall I do? And now he with his boys, his son, when he is living on a crest of a valley. Crest of a valley means what? A small part of highland where he was living, and there were very low educated people aside him. So he was only the person who was actually educated person at that area. So therefore he was living with along his family. And when he is thinking that, yeah, this hailstorm may be stopped, it may be getting stopped within soon, but actually it may stop, but actually it is not going to happen in the story. The story takes more drastic change, very twisting change, that after reading the para, you will observe that first para, two para, third para, second para and third para, you will observe that it is not the simple basic thing which we are thinking, that the story is taking a very dangerous level to the man Lencho and his field also, that whole of the crops were somehow identically, we can say that the crops are identically ruined out. Identically it means that you can observe, तुम देख सकते हो उसको आंखों से कि अरे तो पूरा खराब हो गया, इसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. And in that case we can understand कि he was thinking that, oh God, this year I'm gonna die with hunger. ये साल मैं शायद भूख से मर जाऊंगा, because मेरे पास कुछ भी नहीं है खाने को. And therefore he is also relating a line. एक line relate करते हैं वो, जिसमें वो बोलते हैं, he is telling that the bugs might have left more than this, यानी कि the pest, वो जो कीटाणुज होते हैं या फिर the pest होते हैं जो खेतों को खा जाते हैं, बोलते हैं इससे ज़्यादा तो उन्होंने छोड़ दिया होता जितना इस बारिश ने, बर्फ़ के बारिश ने, जितना इस hail storm ने बिगाड़ दिया मेरे क्रॉप को. It was all filled everywhere looking like white salt. Nothing, a single corn was left there, and therefore he was thinking that I should do something for this, and he was thinking that what shall I do for this, and he was properly broken. So therefore I have completed the introduction, I have completed the story theme, I have completed the character, and I have also completed the situation along with the problem. Okay, so in this story we can say that now you're gonna learn that, or you're gonna understand that how the story is changing from good to bad and to the worse. It's not like good to good to better, best and all. No, it is going good to, because story started with the goodness, then it went to the badful things, and now Lencho can observe that it is all the things which is gonna see like a worse thing. It is the worst thing here. So therefore the problem came here. Now if you talk about the grammatical topics, lines are given in the story which can be relating the topic of or the line paragraph of the story with some idioms and phrases. As I said you that he is comparing falling of water by the coin. It means that he is comparing, that he is actually observing that the water is falling like a coin. It's a simple basic example of idiom and phrase also, but more than that we can say that it's the example of very basic figures of speech, that is simile. Okay, because as I have made you to understand in the previous lectures of the previous standard that simile stands for a very liking a very liking theory which is relating with each other. It is not like contradicting theory, it is same to same like, okay, in which we use to compare two different contradictory objects with the additional joining helping verbs of like or as. Okay, so he is relating with the simile also. So I am clearing here the grammatical points also, as I cleared the hard words also, and now moving to the summary. Okay, so what is the summary? The summary, as I said you already in the situation, has consisted in my lecture. So we'll take it more further. So when the Lencho is actually feeling that he is going to die without of hunger, he was also at the same time thinking that I should take an action on that. Okay, he was thinking, what should I do? What is my basic thing that I can do in all? What I should go with that, okay, and therefore is getting a very beautiful idea. And what is that idea? Have you ever complained to God? You know, when we are kids, जब हम छोटे होते हैं, हमसे कोई गलती हो जाती है, we ask God to forgive us. हम माफ़ी की उम्मीद रखते हैं उनसे, जैसे कि कुछ गलत किया हो तो हम बोलते हैं भगवान ये बातें बाहर ना आए. तो वैसे ही when he is an old man and he is thinking that यार I am a farmer और मैं किससे help मांगूंगा? To whom I will ask the help? He is also thinking that let me go to the God, but where is the way? There is no way for the God. तो ऐसे में क्या कर सकते हैं? He wrote an email. I would like to denote you that this email is not like electric mail. No, this is offline email. It means that he has written an offline email in the form of letter. Okay, in the letter, and therefore he is thinking that I would like to go and post this letter in the mailbox, and he is going by the walk very soon to the post office. Now after going to the post office, he is also thinking that to whom I post this letter, and therefore he find a postman who is helping him to post the letter, while he is also observing that this layman, this man who is actually a farmer, is writing the address of not any person but a God, because there was a letter. Okay, there was a letter in the story which is observed by the postman with a strange eye, where the address is written to the God. Okay, address is written to the God. Obviously anybody will be shocked out if you see the letter to God. मतलब ये क्या है यार, भगवान को पत्र लिख दिया आपने, हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल? कहाँ है भगवान? उनका एड्रेस क्या है? What is his pin code? What is his phone number? It is not possible. It's not gonna possible to be for any general human being. We need some supernatural powers. Okay, so therefore he is writing the letter to God, and he is also asking for the ransom amount. फिरौती भी मांगते हैं वो. Actually फिरौती means वो अपने पैसे भी वापस मांगते हैं उस लेटर में. और ये कैसे पता चलता है? After when he is going from that place, he is also being observed by the group of post office people, or we can say that post office employees, where they are making the joke of his letter, that wow, what a letter, क्या आदमी है यार, इसने लेटर लिखा है गॉड को, वाह चलो खोल के देखते हैं. And therefore a fat chubby man is there, वो भी वहाँ पे काम करते हैं, and he is saying, hey, the letter is consisting some serious problem, and that is why we need to more apart move from the jokes than to help him. हमें जोक से आगे बढ़ के उसको हेल्प करना चाहिए. हमने हंस लिया, इट्स गुड, बट अभी हमें उसकी मदद करनी चाहिए. सो देयरफॉर ही इज थिंकिंग दैट लेट्स कंट्रीब्यूट सम अमाउंट हियर. नाउ व्हाट वाज रिटन इन द स्टोरी ऑफ द लेटर? व्हाट वाज रिटन इन द लेटर? दैट विल सी इन द अदर पार्ट ऑफ दिस वीडियो. Therefore I have cleared the summary, I have made an intro also, and I have also I am also hoping that you must have cleared your doubt about this lesson, those who have not read this lesson and they are completely blank, but those who have already read about the lesson, they might be knowing this theory, and that is good. Also, you are having a repetition about this thing. Okay, so this is the lesson, a letter to God. Hope you have cleared your doubts also, and hope you have noted also this all the kinds of things here, and at home you can also go through with this kinds of prose and lessons while reading that. Okay, thank you.